Well, good evening, everybody. Had a fella mention in the comments section about where do you get the pins and the laces and whatnot for putting flat belts together. So I just thought I'd do a quick little video. We're not going to lace a belt, but there are several types of these clipper lacers. This one here is the one I use. It's been abused a little bit. You know, you can see somebody's dropped something on the spring, but it works real good. And it's, you know, got all the wooden handles and everything works on it. So that's the one that I use. And you can buy these clipper lacings. Those are a 5GW, number 5. So when you buy those online, you look up clipper belt lacing. The only thing you really got to be paying attention to is what size belt you have. Now, this here is a number 3, and they're not very big, about the size of your finger or so, you know, as far as the triangle goes. And they use this small wire. And if you look up number 3, which is right here, that pin is a number 13. So, should be that one right there, which I'm pretty sure it is. Here's another piece here, a new piece. Yeah, it'll go right through that hole. So, anyway, this actually goes in this new box. That's a new box of number 3s. I just wanted to show you how they come. There's a lot of pieces in here. I don't know if there's a dozen. I don't really remember. This one here has been used. The old stuff in the old days all had wire in the middle. And yeah, that one has got a wire in it. And then recently, to save money, I believe it was, they started selling it in a roll like this here. There's no metal in it. It's just some type of clear, I don't know if it's high density polyethylene that's been extruded or what it is, but it's something slippery and it's hard. And I took the last batch that I opened up and I just rolled it out, stuck it onto a board here so that when I go to use it, I'll have a better chance of getting it to go, you know, between the lacings. So anyway, that's just a random box. But he was asking about those pin sizes, and we'll just look at this here for a minute. I think I can get you focused in good enough. I'll get this thing laying flat. So I only have number 3s. I don't know if that's gonna be good enough that you can see it or not, but anyway, those number 3s are 3/16 to 7/32, and they take a pin number 3, which they don't actually say what the diameter of that is, but it's somewheres around, I don't know, 80 thousandths or so. I'd have to mic it. Then the other size that I have is a number 5. And that goes from 9/32 to 5/16 and uses a pin number 10, which I'm going to guess might be 188 thousandths, like a number 10 screw. I'm not sure. Hard to say. But, or it could just be an 1/8 inch. I'm not sure. They may not run of anything that we're familiar with. But anyway, the 3 and the 5 is all I have. I have laced 3/8 belts many times with a number 5, and it seems to work fine. You know, realistically, you should have a number 6, but how many boxes of this stuff do you want to have around, you know? I guess what I would probably do if I was going to have a bunch of them, I'd have a number 5, and then I'd go to a 7. Because this will go to a 5/8, and this will start at 3/8. 5/16, I mean. And this starts at 3/8. So you could easily do away with number 6. Because that only does from 5/16 to 3/8. But, you know, that's how I look at stuff. These things are readily available. I think the last batch I got was, I don't think it was eBay, I think it was on Amazon. So you can look up clipper belt lacing wherever you find it, you know. Just decide whether you want a number 3 or smaller or whatever you need. You can buy that belt sizing gauge. I actually have seen it on the internet. It's only a few bucks. So all this stuff is readily available. Somebody's got, this fellow that was contacting me works around a grist mill, an old one that's still operational, I guess. Might even be a museum, the way he was talking, not sure. And he was trying to find out a little bit about this, because unless you grew up with it, you know, the information is out there, but it's a little hazy to find sometimes. So anyway, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of this. Putting these belts together, you know, you always put the lacing in with the belt off the pulley. If you get in an extreme condition where you have to put it around the pulleys for some reason, let's say there isn't room enough on the side to roll a belt on, and you put it on, the only way to stretch those tight enough to get them together is to put a wooden clamp on each piece of your belt about a foot back from the lacing and drill a hole through it and put a couple pieces of threaded rod in, pull the belt together, slide your pin in, undo your screws, and you'll have the excuse me, you'll have the belt all tensioned. So I've had to do that on the oil field stuff. Sometimes in the big stuff, you know, we're talking 1/2 inch, 5/8 thick belts that are 60, 70, 80 feet long. Some of those, you got to pull them with come-alongs. That's what we used to do. Put clamps on them, put come-alongs on each side and pull it. So, you know, you kind of do what you got to do. Got to be a little creative and use a little ingenuity. So, not much of a video, guys. I've been mowing all afternoon. I got most of my stuff planted. The only thing I got left to do is cabbage and potatoes. And I'm going to start working on them tomorrow. So the farm's coming good. I just changed the oil in the little John Deere, and my 154 with the Kubota deck underneath it. The Kubota deck failed on me. One of the pulleys broke right in the middle of mowing today. So that's one more thing to fix. But anyway, yeah, belt lacings, nothing to them. Don't be intimidated by them. They're a lot simpler than what they look, and the only thing bad about lacings is when they're operational and they're going around. If one happens to be coming out of the belt for some reason, it'll tear the hell out of you. So I've always said, you know, when I throw a belt on, because I throw my belts on usually when the power's on and stuff's turning, and I just throw them on by hand. Always make sure that lacing's on the away side of you so that it's not going to come around and hit you. You don't want none of that stuff ever to come in contact with your hands when it's traveling. I've had a lot of those things, you know, you shut them down and all of a sudden, you know, there'll be one hook just hanging out there just looking to grab something, and it's like, wow, glad that didn't get me. You know, you take a pair of pliers and rip it off. So, you know, use common sense, be careful. Flat belts, as far as I'm concerned, are just as safe as anything else in the world. But like everything, a little common sense goes a long way, and they will bite you. So anyway, that's all it's going to be on this video. I'm going to call it a day. Don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe, guys, if you like it. And I hope I helped somebody. Like I say, it's not a mystery. It's just simple, you know. I would suggest if anybody's just getting started, buy one of those cards. See what you got. Get some lacing that fits what you need, and you'll be way ahead of the game. You know, I've always tried to, until 10 years ago, I never even had number 3s. Didn't matter how thick the belt was, I used a number 5. That's what I grew up using. If I said, oh, that'll lace anything. Well, it's not really true. It breaks the belt if they're a thin belt and you put a number 5 on them. It just makes too much of a flat spot on the belt when it goes around the pulleys. So anyway, yeah, that's it, guys. See you on the next one.